This is the part I hate the most, the reset after a storm. In a little house, it's a lot. My kitchen, it looks like a tornado hit it. And this room where I live, chaos. I did better with the bedroom, but this is what life looks like after a big storm in a little house. The first thing I notice, during the storm, I tend to want a nest, so I don't pay that much attention to higgledy-piggledy, just getting comfy. But some nests look like a mess. This one, first job, my assemblage of water containers. I have a feeling this will sound familiar. Water containers is what you get when there's been a water disruption or a threat of it. And guess what? That's what we had. A boil water advisory for several days. So then I had to scramble around getting whatever container I could lay my hands on. Didn't care if it was a milk container with a little bit of that sour milk aroma still hanging around. Anyway, those did their job just fine for a few days, but now you have an armada of old gallon jugs. Time to pour out the water that you'd saved so carefully and toss them into the recycling bin. Got that done, and then there's the dishes. Because wouldn't you know, that boiled water advisory we had, not just for a day or two, but several, that meant no doing the dishes except in this much water that you'd carefully boiled. And what happens then? You have steak juice, bran cereal bits, and yogurt smush baked onto your dishes. And of course, after a storm, you've got to deal with all that. Sure, I figured out paper plates were a thing, but that was some days into it. Takes me a while, you know? Yeah, next time I'll have this figured out. But for now, there was quite the pile. And the challenge is, in a little house, it's not like I can delay any longer because I can only have so many plates. I mean, maybe I have 2 plates, 3 salad bowls, something like that. You can't have stacks and stacks. So if you want to use them again, you've got to get right to that chore. Right about now, that brilliant morning sun, winter sun that comes out after a bad storm. Oh, it's so lovely sitting in here, and I see my rocking chair, and I so want to just have a sit and enjoy the sun's rays. 1 cup, maybe? It's a strange thing that, right? When the sun comes out after a storm, it's as though you imagined the whole storm. Well, and then you look outside, and it's kind of obvious, at least here in winter. And maybe I shouldn't covet that chair right now, because to tell you the truth, I could go anywhere in this little house with this brilliant light and really enjoy it because the weather is only just so far away when you live in a small space. 24/7, it's there. So I suppose I could be doing the dishes right now and still enjoy those rays. My cup of coffee, it might have to wait. And gosh, the garbage is overflowing. See how this works. When you live in a little house, you can't really have a whole bunch of garbage cans. You might not have thought of that, but that's what I found out. You can't have a whole lot of garbage cans because they take up space. So maybe then you have only the one. That's pretty much what I do. And for some reason during a storm, well, you're all nested down and everything, don't want to go outside. It gets kind of full. And you've had those little extra special treats you put aside, and so it's extra special full. So it's true, as I sit here, I'm going to have to lug that thing outside and get it into the garbage can. But here's where I'm dragging my feet. You should see the garbage cans. They've become a major weightlifting obstacle. So yeah, the garbage thing is a bit more of a to-do. I've got a fix for it though. I'll just stick the bag outside temporarily and not deal with the wheelie bins. It's so cold outside, the garbage will just freeze. At least it'll stop stinking and I won't have to look at it. Now my kitchen, it's kind of small, yeah. And the problem hasn't been just the mucky dishes and that army of make-do water containers. It's the emergency supplies I got. Because you know how it is when you get emergency supplies, you always get like too many, like a lot too many, and then afterwards you got to figure out what you're going to do with them. And that means finding a storage space. And you're so lucky if you have a big house, you might just have space for them. Or you can toss them in a room for now and not pay attention to them for the next little while. But not in my little house. There's exactly no place to put that extra toilet paper. I guess I just got to use it up quickly. So that is a consideration. Something I have to have an inner debate about. Maybe I'll just sit for a while. Brecky has this figured out so well. And we turned this into kind of a little nest for the duration because I really didn't give a rip and we were kind of enjoying it, to tell you the truth. But I suppose now I have to do something about it. Wash all this stuff. These bits and bobs we've been hunkered into for a few days, they got kind of whiffy. And I daren't look at the floor because there's crumbs. Crumbs, 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 and crumbs. We had some good treats, but you know, there's fallout from that. And that means I gotta get the vacuum out. Oh, the work. If I really wanted to enjoy the sunshine, I suppose I could go outside and get going shoveling. My new ramp, it cleaned right up. Woohoo. Oh, but my car. And I can only do so much at one go before I poop out. This is going to take a few days, realistically. But let's not blame that on my little house. I guess I better wait on getting the mail. It might be kind of hard, actually, to get to the end of my driveway, short as it is. And the last thing I need in my house is a bunch of junk mail. That would just add to my torment. And you know it'll be junk mail, right? No real mail these days. It can wait a day or two longer, maybe 3. Deal with it later. It's warm and toasty in my little house. I notice it the moment I come in the door. It's just such an even kind of heat. I never feel that way in a big house. And in a big house, I end up worrying that just a few degrees higher in the thermostat is going to cost me a bunch. Not so much here. I can really just enjoy the feeling of warm. Relax about it and relax into it. Gosh, endless scarves and wet gloves. Stash them in the drying basket. I'll fish them out later. Oh, but blobs of water on the floor? What is that? Snow. That's not paw marks. They're big blobs of snow. I guess it was my boots. I keep forgetting that if you're going to walk on the floor in boots, thinking you could just tiptoe around and you would never notice afterwards, well, that doesn't happen. Not realistic. No amount of tiptoeing is going to keep little puddles of snow, grit, and salt from polka dotting your floors. Judith, I always forget this. After all that, I barely made a dent in the mess. Time for a little sit, I think. And that rocker right over there in the sunshine, oh, it looks just so sweet. So that might be it for now. But we'll talk soon, all right? See you then.